Hi guys, and welcome to today's video on how to make a Christingle. This is part of all of the Christingle celebrations that we're doing here at Rushbit Baptist Church, and I'm just going to quickly run you through how to build a Christingle and what each part of it represents as we're building it. Obviously, first thing to say is please be very careful when you're doing these. It does involve potentially sharp instruments and fire, so make sure you have parental permission and supervision, and anything involving flames or sharp objects, you get your parents or someone sort of responsible to do it for you. I'm just going to first of all take you through everything that we need to do this. So first of all, I have a cutting board, and this is to protect my mum's nice table so I don't get in trouble. The next thing we need is an orange. We need sweets. I'm using dolly mixture, but you can use any kind of sweet or dried fruit or marshmallows, anything really. Cocktail sticks, I've got some just bamboo cocktail sticks, and a candle. I have also got some foil, and that's optional, so I'll explain a little bit later about how we can use that. Oh, and a red ribbon. All of those, once you've got all those ingredients, we can get started. So the first thing I've done here is, because I'm sort of showing you how to do it, I've just cut a little slice off the bottom of my orange just to make it stand up straight. You don't need to do that. It does make things messy because you get orange juice everywhere. But I just need it to be able to stand up there, and you'll be holding it, so you shouldn't need to have to cut a whole slice off the bottom. But I've done that. So there we are, the orange. We're going to start with the orange. This, in the Christingle, represents the world. Quite simply, the world. And the first thing we're going to do is cut a hole in the top. Now, I've done this already, but I use an apple corer just to slice a hole down in the centre of the orange, and that's the hole that we're going to use for the candle later on. It's easier to do that first, so you don't have to try and do it while you've got other bits on. The next thing we're going to do is put the ribbon on. Now, the red ribbon or the red tape or whatever it is you want to use, this represents God's love for us and the blood that was shed by Jesus for us, and this just goes around the world just to represent Jesus' love for the world. Now, if you've got tape, it should just stick on nicely. If you haven't, like me, I'm going to use just little thumbtacks just to help keep that in place. Obviously, be very careful with the thumbtacks, but that just helps secure that in place while you're using it. There you go. So that's then your red tape around your Christingle. Once you've done that, we can move on to the sweets. Now, I've got these cocktail sticks that I've already sort of got ready, and I've put my dolly mixture on them. So I've just picked 2 sweets to keep it simple. You can put more on if you want, but just a couple of sweets on a cocktail stick. And these just go nicely around. 4 cocktail sticks around your Christingle, and they just stick in like this. I imagine you've seen what a Christingle roughly looks like before. So we'll just shove these in like that. Oh, I've just broken my cocktail stick. Look at that. Okay, so I've got a working cocktail stick now, and I've got them all in. So your Christingle will look something like that. Now, the final step of this is to put the candle in. Now, this is where the foil comes in. We are going to light this candle eventually, so just putting it in like that is great, but obviously what happens is your wax leaks, and that can be hot and dangerous. So what you can do is just take a piece of foil, very simply, and put it around the bottom, and then just create yourself like a little protective shelf. I probably used a bit too big there. Like that, look. A little protective shelf, so all that wax will drop onto your foil rather than onto your hands. And that then goes nicely into that hole you made earlier. And that way the foil just catches any of that wax that falls off. The final bit here, so the sweets, I forgot to mention, the sweets represent everything in the world. So all of God's creation, us, animals, everything, all that God has created. And then this final bit, the candle. Obviously, if you are lighting this, once again, please be very careful and get someone adult to do that for you, someone responsible. And then we light this like that. And then once this is lit, this represents the light in the world, Jesus' light in the world, bringing hope to all the people living in darkness. So all together we have the orange, which represents the world. We have the ribbon, which represents the blood that Jesus shed for us and the world. You have the sweets that represent all of God's creation. And then you have the candle and the light that represents Jesus' light in the world, bringing hope to all those who are in darkness. I've nearly blown that out, but I've kept it up. So I hope that is informative and you've been able to make your Christingle off of this. And I really hope you have a good Christmas and that you enjoy all of the celebrations that you can join us for at Rushmere Baptist between now and Christmas and then in the new year as well. Thank you very much.